Hello, everybody. All right. Let me make sure that we are streaming live. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm in a different spot today. I'm in the kitchen today. I'm being bold in the kitchen, and it's always a little dicey when I'm not in the studio, which is like a controlled environment. I can close the door, but I'm out in the kitchen today. So, and it's lunchtime. So there's lots of variables in play. So come on in. Are you in your kitchen? Come on in, have a seat. We're going to talk about serving sizes, the brutal truth. You can't handle the truth. There we go. It looks like I am streaming live. Hey, all right. Good. So if you're joining me live, go ahead and share this out. If you caught the replay, go ahead and share this out. We want to make sure that we are getting this information out to everybody who wants it and needs it. If you are working on that healthy lifestyle, then you want to check this out today. I'm excited to share with you guys. I'm here live in my kitchen. This is Theresa Horne, Sisterhood of Strong. Come on in and join me. Let's get to the business. All right, so it looks like I'm good. I am not showing up on. There we go. Let me check all the places. Good afternoon, Facebook. Good afternoon, YouTube, wherever you're watching me today. Thanks for joining me. Everything's looking good. Okay, let me try here. Am I streaming live there like I'm supposed to be? Yes. I'll have to check later because I can't say. So if you are here live watching, let me hear you say live in the comments because I can't tell. Okay, we're just going to go with it. All right, so again, my name is Theresa Horne. I'm the founder and CEO of Sisterhood of Strong. We're streaming here live in, hey there, we're streaming there live in my kitchen today because we're going to be talking about serving sizes. And so if you haven't let StreamYard, given StreamYard permission to publish your name, you're going to want to do that. Otherwise, I can't see who you are, but welcome to the show. We're going to go ahead and get started. So we're talking about serving sizes today, and the truth about serving sizes, the brutal truth, because most of us use a serving size that is far larger than what we want. So when we are thinking about a healthy lifestyle and making healthy choices and choosing our food and putting food on our plate, if we're not aware of the serving size, we're often eating far more than we think we are. So we're going to dig right into this, and I'm going to actually use some examples of things that you might be eating. So I've got some food here behind me, and we're going to actually do real choices. And so we're going to start with, if you're thinking that you're, making a healthy choice, some things that you might choose. And yogurt is going to be the first example. So the way to know what a serving size is, there's lots of options. Obviously we have the internet, you can look it up on the internet. That's a great option. One of the challenges I'm doing right now is having my clients, having anyone who wants to join us, to actually look at track their food, and we're using the app MyFitnessPal. Lots of free apps that you can use. I like MyFitnessPal because it's easy to use and it's free. You can use the free option. So we're going to use that as a reference today, and that's going to tell us what our serving size is. So when you pick up an option, like I said, yogurt, we're thinking, okay, yogurt's healthy. So yogurt, when you pick it up, and then let's do it this way. We're going to pretend we're just eating yogurt. So we're picking up yogurt and we're going to have it for a snack. Hopefully there's nothing here. And so if I was eating yogurt as a snack, I'd grab my bowl, right? And I'd get a spoon And I'm hungry, so I'm going to put my yogurt. You guys can see me, yeah? Put my yogurt in a bowl. And I'm just gonna, I'm assuming this is what you guys would do, right? And then yogurt's in the bowl. You can see. So I didn't measure, I didn't weigh, I just kind of eyeballed it because I think that's probably what we do when we first start out. We're just like, I'm hungry, I'm gonna have yogurt, put it in a bowl, I'm not weighing, I'm not measuring, any of that. But there's a serving size for yogurt. So what we wanna do is actually look at what the serving size is on the back. We wanna read the label, right? And so the serving size for yogurt is, for this particular yogurt, is 2/3 of a cup. And then they're going to give you the nutritional facts based on that 2/3 of a cup. So for 2/3 of a cup of yogurt, it's 150 calories. Do we think that I put 2/3 of a cup of yogurt into the bowl? I have no idea. I spooned it out. So I'm going to get my measuring tools. And hopefully there's a 2/3. There's a half a cup. There's a third of a cup. So I'm going to use 1/3 of a cup, do it 2 times, which would give me 2/3. So here we go, you guys. We're going to measure what I actually spooned out into this so we can see if I was accurate. There's 1/3 cup. Oh no, it's not looking too good. Maybe. That's probably kind of close. So 2/3 of a cup of yogurt. Isn't that, I wasn't that off. I was a little bit generous, but here's 2/3 of a cup of yogurt. So this was actually the serving size of the yogurt. Let's talk about the yogurt choice that I made. Not the best choice at all. This yogurt has 31 total carbs in it, but 17 grams of that is added sugars. So this has a lot of sugar. I think probably when we choose yogurt, we're thinking that's a healthy choice. You want to read the label and see what kind of yogurt it is. This is low-fat yogurt, right? So maybe you're thinking low-fat, that's healthy. It's got 17 grams of added sugar, a lot of added sugar. It's got 5 grams of protein, not that great. Not horrible, but not that great. It's the sugar, the added sugars that's really doing the damage in this yogurt. Compared to what would be a better choice would be a plain Greek yogurt. And the serving size of that is 3/4 of a cup. So a little bit more than the 2/3, 3/4 of a cup. Not that big of a difference, but 3/4 of a cup, that's 100 calories. It has 0 added sugars. 0 added sugar. So you could do plain Greek yogurt, you get 3/4 of a cup. It's got 18 grams of protein, which is amazing, really great. It's a great source of protein if you aren't eating meat. It is obviously it's yogurt, so this yogurt has dairy, and the dairy-free yogurts do not have the same kind of protein. So if you're okay with dairy, but you're trying to stay away from meat, then this is a great option for protein. So a better choice, and we want to make sure that we know the serving size. So again, read the label for that. So next thing I wanted to talk about is nuts. I think, again, nuts are healthy, a healthy fat. We want to actually weigh or measure out our servings when we talk about nuts. So these nuts, these are one of my favorites, but these are actually a nut that I would consider like a treat because they are they're sweet, buttery, coated pecans. So they're delicious. I really like them. Hey, good afternoon. Thanks for joining. Nuts. So nuts are a healthy choice. These nuts, like I said, these have butter. They're buttered nuts, so they're not the healthiest of choices. But I wanted to talk about how we would eat them. So I think a lot of people probably just grab a handful of nuts to eat. Let me see if I have something grab a handful of nuts. So you just grab a handful and eat them like that. How many people eat their nuts like that? They just grab a handful of nuts. So grab a handful. I'm gonna put them in the bowl for our purposes though, and eat their nuts like that, or even multiple handfuls. Nuts are a healthy fat, but they are a fat and they're high in fat, which is actually good, but they're also high in calories. So we need to be mindful of them. So let's look. The serving size, the real serving size of nuts is actually 1/4 of a cup. So you already know. If I grabbed a handful of nuts, that is far more than 1/4 of a cup. So I have my 1/4 of a cup right here. I have the nuts that I'm gonna scoop 1/4 of a cup. This is actually a serving of nuts right here. This is a serving of nuts. So in your handful of nuts, I've got 1, 2, 2.5 servings. 2.5 servings of nuts in that handful of nuts that you grabbed. You're thinking it's a healthy snack. I'm just going to grab a handful of nuts. 2.5 servings. Why does that matter? Because 1 serving of nuts is 190 calories. And we just got 2.5. So you're going 190. What is that? 380 and then and a half. So you just did that 1, 2.5 times. In these nuts, because like I said, these are not the best choice, they have 13 grams of fat. That's probably all nuts are about 10, 12 grams of fat. These have carbs because they're coated. I'm trying to think if I have regular almonds, plain almonds with, I think I got them in bulk, so they don't have the ingredients on them. But plain nuts or lightly salted, they're lightly salted would have more sodium, but they wouldn't have any added carbohydrates. So you just want to make sure you look at the label. Again, a serving of nuts, though, is always going to be 1/4 of a cup, unless you got some kind of fancy thing. But a serving of nuts is generally 1/4 of a cup. The way I'll tell you a trick. The way I do my nuts is actually I'll usually put them in here in this little container, because this is 1/4 of a cup, and I just eat them out of here. Or also 2 tablespoons. So a shot glass is the same thing. So that's a good way to actually keep this under control. So I wanted to show you yogurt. I wanted to show you nuts. The next thing I wanted to talk about, because these are, I think, real life things that we eat trying to be healthy. I got some kettle chips. I know when kettle chips first came on the market, I thought, oh, kettle, they're probably healthier than regular potato chips, because I don't know why kettle sounded like it might be a healthier thing. Maybe they were baked or something. So let's talk about potato chips. So I'm going to open these up, this new package, because I had to buy some just for this video. So potato chips, I think we probably grab a handful of chips, maybe put them in a bowl, right? So a big old handful of potato chips, probably what you eat. Let's put them on a plate. Get a handful of chips. I think most of us probably eat a handful of chips if we're doing that, right? So handful of chips to go with your sandwich, maybe. Yeah, I think that's probably about right. So what is a real serving size of potato chips? Serving size of potato chips is 18 chips, or these potato chips, 18 chips or 1 ounce. I think it's probably best to weigh your chips, or whatever the thing is, to get the right serving size. Because when we talk about 18 potato chips, like, I don't know about you, but if I was counting out, I'd be like trying to get the biggest ones, the heaviest ones. Potato chips are all different. So 1 ounce would probably be the better way to do it. So I'm going to get my scale. I'm going to grab that over here. and we're going to weigh it out to see what the serving size is. So I've been doing this a while, so I tend to automatically do the right serving size. We'll see how it goes today. So I'll put my bowl on here, clear it. So we're at 0. Okay, and then we're going to put 1 ounce of potato chips and see. So this was what I eyeballed. I just grabbed a handful of chips, put on my plate. We'll see what it actually is. We're close. So we're about there. So this is an ounce, 1 ounce, right here. 1 ounce potato chips. Wish I had a clear glass so you guys could see. So there's 1 ounce. So my handful was a little bit off. Maybe if you get a small handful, if you're getting multiple handfuls, then you definitely got more than 1 ounce there. But 1 handful, if you do a small handful, probably around an ounce. I don't know, maybe. You want to make sure, but you want to weigh that out because potato chips, calories, 140 calories, 17 carbs, no added, 2 added sugars in these, 2 grams of protein. Really, the nutritional value in potato chips, you shouldn't be eating potato chips thinking that you're doing it for some nutritional thing. But you do want to pay attention to the serving size because if you're grabbing multiple hands of potato chips, especially if you like get a handful of chips and then go do something else and walk through and then get another handful of chips, every time you do that, that's 140 calories. So if you eat a couple of handfuls, that's a couple of times you've eaten 140 calories. So we just want to be mindful of that. If you're doing potato chips, definitely make sure you are doing the serving size and then you can know exactly what you're eating. A much better choice. So that's a serving size, 1 ounce of potato chips, right? So a much better option, and I like this a lot better because you're going to get way more nutritional density for the same kind of amount of things. Talk about broccoli. I usually roast broccoli every Sunday on meal prep day. Did not roast our broccoli today or yesterday because we got in really late. But a serving size of broccoli is 1 cup. And you want to actually make sure that wherever you're tracking that. So I'm going to put this in MyFitnessPal so we can actually check this. Broccoli, because it doesn't, because it's in a bag, it might have it on here. Oh, it does. How about that? So it's about the broccoli in a bag. So for serving size of broccoli, because it came from a bag this time, is 1 1/4 cup. So 1 1/4 cup, and that's 25 calories. I love that, y'all. You get 1 1/4 cup of broccoli compared to 1 ounce of potato chips. Let's see what that looks like. Right? So I'm going to get another plate so we can compare these side to side. All right. So my broccoli, I get 1 1/4 cup. What's that look like? Broccoli in a cup. 1. Again, you can roast your broccoli. It doesn't have to be raw, but it could be. So we got 1 cup and 1/4. 1/4 cup at, there it is. Probably, oh, that's perfect. 1/4. So there we go. Still have my plate. So let's look at that right here. The broccoli and the potato chips as a side for lunch. Okay, so here we go, right here. Look, side for lunch. You can have broccoli, you can have potato chips. Let's talk about the nutritional value of the broccoli compared to the potato chips. In the broccoli, I've got 0 fat. If you roasted it and added olive oil, you would need to think about that added fat right there. But if we're just doing raw, 0 fat, 25 grams of sodium, 4 carbs, 3 grams of protein in broccoli. That's amazing. So good, right? So definitely you could get protein from your vegetables, right? So, that's amazing. So good, you guys. All right, compared to potato chips, right? That same side at lunchtime, we've got 8 grams of fat, and it's not a healthy fat. We've got 16 grams of carbs, and we've got 2 grams of protein. As far as nutritional value, there's 0 vitamin D, 0 calcium, 0 iron, 0 iron, and 6% potassium, 6% of your daily recommended value, which is really nothing, right? So no nutrients really in these potato chips. Compared to our broccoli, which has got 0 vitamin D, real talk, y'all. It's got calcium, it's got a little bit of iron, and it's got potassium. Okay, so and that's just what's listed. There are other, actually, there's vitamin E, I believe, in broccoli. It's not required to be listed on this label, but so there are other nutrients in broccoli that aren't even on here. So there we go. So if you're thinking about a side dish, just there's so much more nutrients in the broccoli compared to potato chips. All right, last thing I want to talk about is dip. So if you're like, okay, I'll do the broccoli, I'll do the raw broccoli, but I'm gonna need some kind of dip to go with that, Theresa. So I'm gonna need something to go with this. So how about dip? I wish I had regular ranch dressing, because I know some of y'all just still eating regular ranch dressing, but I didn't even have any in the house. So this is the closest thing I had to like a regular salad dressing. Well, it actually is, and it's Italian. I use it to season food, and but I wanted to actually do the serving, right? Just to see about what you would do as a serving. So I think I'm just gonna do the ranch, and this is the ranch that we use. My family loves ranch still. We use Boathouse Farms. You guys can see without the glare, hopefully. Yeah, there we go. And this is yogurt and dressing. The base of this is yogurt, so it has more protein. It has healthy fats, the fats that are naturally occurring in milk, less calories. So a serving size of this dip, thank you, is actually 2 tablespoons. 2 tablespoons is a serving size, and I'm going to show you what that looks like. And I'm going to show you in my shot glass. Again, you could use a spoon, obviously, but I love this for measuring these kind of things like sauces and dips. So the shot glass has right on here, it's got the ounces, it's got the teaspoons, it's got the tablespoons. So I'm going to put it in here. This is what we got. This is 2 tablespoons of ranch dressing to go with your broccoli, right? I think that probably looks about right. So this is what it would look like, you guys. Hard to see because it's white. But there we go. That's pretty good, right? So you've got some nutrients in your broccoli. Again, you could roast it or you could eat it raw. You've got your ranch dip. Again, because we're using a yogurt-based dip, it's got 1 gram protein in it, and then just in that 2 tablespoons. And we've also got the protein that's in the actual broccoli, no fat, 3 grams of fat in the yogurt. Again, it's a healthy fat from dairy, a yogurt. And so there we go with that. Again, and you can track all this in MyFitnessPal. You would be able to see the exact nutritional value there. And also you can get the information from reading the actual label. So if you were to buy broccoli, just fresh, it wouldn't have that specific information. I just happen to have my broccoli in a bag. So when you're doing that, that's why I like MyFitnessPal so much, is because I could go in here. I'm going to go into lunch. I'm going to type in broccoli. And then it's going to actually bring up things here. You guys probably can't see that. It's going to bring things up for me. And my Fitness Pal is saying, I'm telling you information for broccoli to be 1 cup. So 1 cup of chopped broccoli via this is 31 calories. I'm clicking on it, and that's going to give me the breakdown here. It's going to say 6 carbs, 2.6 grams of protein. And then if you click further, it would even give you more. It would give you, it gives you the fiber, 2.4 grams of fiber, gives me the calcium, 42.8 grams, or 42.8% of your daily recommended value of calcium, which is not, well, actually, it is on the bag here too. Potassium, vitamin A, vitamin C. So those are also in broccoli. And that information is all here for you for free in MyFitnessPal. This is under the free option. You don't have to do the paid option to get that information. But understand that that's based on 1 cup of broccoli. So I think that's really what I want you to understand is serving sizes. It's based on whatever the person or the people who are giving you the information are basing it off of. So they're saying 1 ounce of potato chips. They're measuring it and they're giving you the data based on 1 ounce. This bag was different than what we saw in MyFitnessPal, right? They're saying we're giving you the nutritional facts based on 1 1/4 cup. So you need to know what you're working with. So you need to look at the label. If it doesn't have a label, like broccoli from the bulk section, or even nuts from the bulk section, you need to know what the basic information is. And that's why a tool like MyFitnessPal is helpful. Whenever you add things to something, so in the case of nuts, they're going to give you the basic information for just plain nuts. The nuts that I showed you, these are buttered, they're coated, so they have added calories. So I can't just use pecans in MyFitnessPal and think it's going to be the same, because this has something added to it. It's the same thing as like if I roasted this broccoli, roasted it in olive oil, I would have to add olive oil to how I track it, right? Because it's no longer just broccoli, it's broccoli and olive oil. So, and if you're wondering like, well, how do I figure that out? So that would mean you would put all the broccoli. So I would put all that broccoli in a cookie sheet, and there's 11 servings of broccoli in this. And I know that a serving is 1 1/4 cup. And then I would put 2 tablespoons of olive oil all over that. And then I would know I put 2 tablespoons of olive oil on all of this broccoli. So when I measure that out, if I wanted to be super precise, I would just divide 2 tablespoons amongst 11 servings, and that's how much olive oil I would have on each serving of broccoli. Now, that's not going to make a huge dent in my overall day, so I wouldn't worry about it. But if you were like, I want to know exactly how much fat, like if you needed to specifically track your fat for some reason, that's how you would do that. Okay, so most of us don't have to be that specific with our tracking, but if you were wondering, like, how do I figure when I'm making big quantities of things, how do I figure that out on MyFitnessPal? That's how you would do it. You make the total thing, total it all out, and then you divide it by the servings. And if you like, yeah, you lost me, then go ahead and send me a private message. I would love to talk to you about that to help you break it down if you're trying to track your food. And the reason we track our food is to understand what we're putting in our bodies. Because if you are trying to reach some type of goal and you're not getting there, and if you're stuck and you're like, I don't understand why this isn't working, it's probably because you don't understand a part of what you're putting in your body. Like you're putting in too much fat, or you're putting in too many processed carbohydrates. That's usually what our problem is. Or you're not getting enough protein to turn your energy expenditure into muscle. Like you want to create muscle, but you're not getting enough protein to do that. You're probably like just breaking your body down. You want to make sure that you are really eating what you think you're eating. So that's what I wanted to share with you guys today, with some real life examples. if you have any questions about this, if you are still confused about serving size, let me know. I'd love to talk about it more. Obviously, I can do this all day. One of my favorite things. A lot of this information and how to weigh and measure and kind of figure this out just takes time. It just takes time. You could definitely do it. You want to do it. These are things that once you figure this out, some of the mistakes that we're making about our eating choices just make so much more sense. Like, it's like, oh, well, no wonder I'm having this problem, because I was eating Yoplait yogurt thinking it was healthy 3 times a day, and there's tons of sugar in there. There's that. I mean, just think if you were having this as your snack and you're like, I'm gonna have a snack of yogurt twice a day, and you're adding 30, 60 grams of sugar, lots of added sugar just with something you think is healthy. So it's important to read the label. It's important to have that information. If you have any questions, reach out and let me know. Thanks for joining me today. My name is Theresa Horne, Sisterhood is Strong. I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.